Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and this is Belinda. Caught her while she was cleaning off her mouth. What
Hi,
were you doing?
everybody.
Hello. We got a little group going here already. We got Pete the Patriot, Linda Horner, Donna, of course, DM, Margot, Linda Horner. We Wilman 757. Good to see you. Old reliables here, so we are definitely ready to go. And Jared Freeman, good to see you guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. Um, Let me start by saying that, as I have in my last videos, this is an adults only video. This is not intended for children under the age of 18. We are discussing content that is for adults and adults only. If you are under 18, please excuse yourself from this video. Thank
Bye
you very
bye.
much. Bye bye. No, bye bye. All right.
Hey,
And
Don.
it's obviously because of the YouTube rules that are changing on the 10th, but it needs to just be well understood. Chrysler Imperial, good to see you. So, what the hell are we going to talk about today, Miss Belinda?
Oh, maybe the crazy Democrats?
No, say it isn't so.
Yeah.
Hello, Deplorable Bobby, good to see you. Yeah, some strange and unusual things have been happening lately, and it's getting weird out here.
Well, I pulled up an article about when did they start talking about impeaching our president. And they started the day after he won the election.
Right, 19 minutes after the inauguration. Right before the inauguration, they were talking about it, but after 19 minutes after the inauguration, the Washington Compost did an article saying that the impeachment process has now begun.
Yeah. And I find it remarkable that Richard Alex, I can hear myself all kinds of back.
All right, well, then I'm going to have to change my speaker set. I was hoping I could get away with that, but how about now? How about now? How about now?
I don't know. Oh, perfect.
Of course I am, but how are you?
Well, this stolen valor guy Blumenthal, or yeah,
Yeah,
Blumenthal,
that's what a piece.
he's nervy, and he was the attorney general in Cincinnati, or in Connecticut, for 15 years, touting all of his in-country rhetoric, and then the
Right,
nerve to say he just misspoke and he shouldn't be in, impunged or impunged with a few misplaced words.
of
And now
course.
he is, on the bandwagon of hating Trump. What is wrong with these people?
They're ignorant. Hey, Freeman, good to see you, brother. Um, yeah, it's he's quite a piece of work. Um, but I mean, all of them are. Uh, they've been throwing lies at the American people, and they do it with impunity and also without consequence. And I wonder how that all came about. Who decided that the elected officials get total immunity and can essentially propagandize? That one was for you, Pete. The American people, and they can lie absolutely bold faced even when they're sitting in chambers in their positions of power, and they get away with it with no recourse
Because they
whatsoever.
talk about it as it's freedom of speech. It's, there's consequences to your speech. And I was watching something earlier today. Not all speech is free of consequence or laws. And I find for these people to sit up in chambers, and they had to do a poll to see who understood pro quo,
Quid pro quo,
yeah,
never heard of it.
or bribery, treason, impeachment. They had to do that to find a word.
Great
There's
informer, good to see you, brother. Yeah, they wanted to see who was going to be the most receptive, or the public would be most receptive to
what word?
which word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it just is all boiling
yeah.
down to people's opinions. And that broad Pamela that was on there yesterday, that
She was
Harvard law
good.
professor, look, I could. I could snatch a knot in her behind because she was the most hateful, vindictive. She's a never Trumper and she has a personal grudge against that family. When she's,
Right.
on a panel saying that she has to cross the street because she can't walk in front of Trump Tower, ooh, big scary building. What's wrong with
Yeah.
these people?
Emotional warriors. They got upset, so they're going to resist everything, and because the president is direct and quite frankly speaks like the American people, it scares the hell out of them. And it also tells you that the American people scare the hell out of them. They've had their thumb on us for so long, thinking that they're on their glass palaces and that we are nothing but the great unwashed beneath them. And now they're realizing the people are getting pissed, and I think they're getting a little bit scared of the American people.
Wow. I think that the majority, obviously, of Americans can't handle frank speech. And that all came into play when we all had to get politically correct with, never offending someone or never. It's absolutely disgusting. The guy speaks very frankly. I think he should shut up sometimes, and I think he gets himself in trouble uh, a lot of the times. Some things could be prevented, but he's just a man speaking like a confident human being that wants to make things right for everyone. And that's how I take him. I get mad at him, I get frustrated with him, but you know what? I voted for him and I'm allowed to do that. I think half of these people that
Yeah,
complain about him didn't even vote.
right. Well, even if they did, they voted for Hillary, thinking that she was going to bring some glorious new world to this country. And you know, the crimes of Hillary are coming out in droves. People that are associated with her global initiative are being hammered for campaign finance loophole fraud, basically creating illegal loopholes to get money to her campaign, and now people that are directly associated with them are being indicted, and they're also finding out that Hillary and Bill had a lot more to do with Epstein than they ever thought they would, and they're talking about now they've been to his ranch in New Mexico every year since they left the White House. So this idea that Bill says, "Well, I didn't know him well. We didn't really hang out much." It's all turning out to be bullshit. Just kind of like the I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. And
You're
so
right.
it, yeah, the lies, the way that you get the truth is in tiny little increments from people who lie. The first thing they say is, "Well, I didn't do it." The second thing they said, "Well, if it was done, I didn't know about it." And then they'll come up with, "Well, I may have done it, but it wasn't intentional." And
Hmm.
then eventually the system just keeps trickling out. And then finally it's like, "Yes, I did it."
Yeah, but they've
But by
already
that
laid the
time it's been,
groundwork for the
right.
excuse to get away with it.
Yes. Right. So by the time the truth really comes out, then it's just like, yeah, whatever. I've heard all this already. So
Well,
it's a trick.
it's like all these something else I was watching today about what YouTube is doing. They're already closing channels. They're
Right.
it's the person talked about the difference between a publisher and a platform.
Right.
And YouTube is supposed to be a platform where everyone can come with their
Yeah.
view and say it.
Public square.
A publisher is someone that edits, alters, and controls the narrative. And YouTube has become a publisher and not a
Right.
platform provider. And there was
But they're still
something
using
there's
the same cover.
hmm and there's
The,
several Trump's ads won't run on YouTube.
yeah, they dropped 300 of them. But here's the funny part: they kept the money that was paid for the advertisement. So,
Trump should be talking about that. Trump should be talking about that every time microphone's shoved in his face.
right. I mean,
Maybe he should open up
that
a
is
platform.
theft. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's actually something we've been talking about. Me and some other people have been talking about. R-rated conservative and Fred, good to see you both. Um, yeah, so something's got to happen. But the fact that they can be paid for these ads, they post them for one day when they're paid to post them for whatever, and then they decide, nah, we're not going to post those. But then they keep the money for that advertising. That is absolute theft, and I just don't get why nothing is being done about it. They are absolutely rogue. They're completely out of hand, and nothing is getting done about it. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. So,
I don't know, and that's what kills me. Why do we? Why are we only seeing things happen to our president and nothing to anybody else? I mean,
well,
like
it's
the
not just
little.
our president. It's, I mean, obviously, it's been he's the primary target, but it's people that are around him are getting destroyed, and now they're going after Devin or is it Nunez? Um, which one is the one that was sitting next to Schiff? I think it's Devin Nunes. They got his phone records. People are trying to figure out how the hell did he do that. He got Giuliani's phone records, and this is Adam Schiff that got them.
Oh, shifty
So
shift. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's a thing called client privilege, lawyer client privilege,
Well,
and
they blew that out of the water when they arrested Trump's lawyer and raided his office. I mean, they set a
right, but now
precedent.
that yeah, and they're doing the same thing by getting the phone records of Rudy Giuliani.
Hmm.
So they don't. The law is gone. The Constitution has left the building, and you know, I'm not sure what is the trigger, but I know that if you just listen around, the Patriots are getting pretty pissed. So, what is the trigger? When do we go to DC and decide to drag them out of their offices with their earlobes and kick them out on the street and let them know not to come back? And why the hell can't we remove these people when we know that they have done these crimes? There,
Well,
it
that
seems like, well, I was going to say it just seems like a super duper protection program that's put into place for elected officials that they can absolutely get away with anything and
murder.
nobody can
Yeah.
remove them. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton, you know,
Well, I think, he got himself suicide or she got herself suicided. I think that kind of started with Hillary. I don't I
yeah,
don't really remember ever hearing that before until
or
until Clinton was
Arkancided.
elected and people started getting suicided, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And they get away with,
Her
look at
body. Yeah.
everything that Clinton did. Look at everything that
Yeah.
Obama did. Obama held aid to different countries, just like
Right.
like Trump has done with Ukraine. It's what there's been a precedent set. There's already been, that's the
Right.
word I was trying to think of, Randy, precedent. There's been a precedent set, and all these presidents before Trump have done the same thing to get
Right.
held aid to get whatever it was that they wanted to get. Now, Trump held aid, and he is an evil, what are they trying to call him, a monarch? And that woman that bashed his son, Baron, like he's going to be a
Yeah.
baron, this is not a monarchy. Like I said, I could just
Yeah. She was
snatch a knot.
the epitome of an idiot.
Yeah, she's militant. She's militant.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she's hateful, and she has a chip on her shoulder, and what do they call it? Never Trumpers. That's all she is.
Right.
She is,
They
when they asked
they should
about
have
her
asked her if she
donations.
ever.
Hmm?
Yeah. There's going to Clinton $2,000 and $1,000 for Elizabeth Warren and something else. Oh, it was because I'm always donating to charity to help the poor. Well, that was
Yeah.
stupid.
Oh, okay, donating to Hillary Clinton's helping the poor. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they don't still don't recognize the presidency. You have Nancy Pelosi going over to Spain or wherever the hell she went to, or France or something, and saying we're still in on that Paris Climate Accord. So I guess she went to Paris, but she has no right to do that. And you know, they're usurping power, and they're frankly just taking over. That's what I see. I see the Democrats as just saying, okay, well, the Republicans, screw you guys. We're going to take it from here. You guys just get out of the way. And if you complain about it, we're going to go ahead and censure you, and we're going to file ethics complaints. Well, Lottie frickin' duh, go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
What in the
yeah, because
hell are the Republicans afraid of?
right, because I have, when you have this woman, professor and so well educated and has held, many prestigious jobs, and she writes rhetoric. She writes how much she can't stand this president from the beginning, but you're going to use her as someone to discuss the Constitution and the rules of impeachment? No,
Right. Well,
no.
she also said that conservatives can't stand each other. That's why we all live apart. I just thought that was the most ignorant line of crap I've ever heard in my life. The only
Alex,
thing
when
that
y'all
she
come
did
here,
say, oh, I imagine I'll hear some more, but we'll have to make sure we're in separate rooms or something, so we don't get too close. But the point that she made about liberals flocking together, that was actually a true point. If you think about it, the liberals are consolidated in the cities, and they do flock together because idiots seem to attract each other. I guess when you're intelligent enough to have independent thought and freedom of expression, then you don't have to be right up somebody's ass in order to function. But if you have to think in group thought, and you can't function without somebody else telling you what to do, then of course you need to rally together.
well, yeah, because I have asked people why. Why do you agree with this taking down of Trump? Well, it's the right thing. He's not good for the country. It's the right thing to do. Uh, what else? Blanket thing has been said. I mean, it's all those blanket, no thought, no
Right.
independent thought, no backup to it. Just it's the right thing to do.
Well, he's a racist, so
Yeah, he's a
you know.
racist. Why are we not talking about pres- prescription drug prices? Mine are going up again when the new Medicare takes over. Mine's going up again. Why are we not trying to rein those things in? We're about to face the closing of the government. How are they going to impeach him and the budget? How is that going to work together?
Well,
Because the
it's
budget's due what, 20 December of this year?
yeah. They signed another continuing resolution, which I think is one of those most stupid things that can be done by our elected officials, because then you can't change any of the expenditures. Whatever is there. Even a program that has expired based on last year's budget, if a program was only expected to go for a year and they do a continuing resolution, that means that program, that even though has expired, receives the exact same amount of funding. So you
Mhm.
can't make changes to funding until you do a budget. Continuing resolutions are dangerous, and they don't allow to trim the fat off the expenditures.
Oh yeah, they don't want to do that, but they're going to have to approve a budget. They can't impeach him and go and throw us back into another government shutdown to make Trump look bad.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that the more these morons speak about their constitutional law, the more they expose the Democrats for their illegalities according to
I
the
hope so.
Constitution.
I hope so because it
Well, if
looks like
you,
you throw shit against the wall and it just falls away from them. Hey, history B.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, it's fascinating, but no, this is an adults only program. We're going to keep ourselves as clean as we have to, but we're not going to be doing any industrial f bombs around here. But if the shit's got to be spit, then the shit's going to be spit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
We're all grown-ups. If you're offended, I don't know what to say.
Well, I'm the person that grabs the cat by the tail and scrubs the fur the wrong way. So if somebody's offended by me, then they can take a long jump off of a short bridge. And I'm sorry, but my offending somebody by my personal thought and expression is not a concern that I bother myself with.
Well, you remember old girl, the old Palestinian that got elected? What's her name?
Rashida Tlaib.
Rashad?
Oh
Huh?
no, Iham Omar.
No,
Is
no, no,
that
not that one.
not her then?
Uh,
Well, there's Rashida Tlaib, Iham Omar,
yeah,
and
that one. Talib. Yeah,
Tlaib. Okay,
yeah.
going
She's
to
the
impeach
one.
the MFer.
Yeah, she got sworn into office, and what, 3.5 hours later, she was saying this. I'm here to impeach the MFer, and now she
Yeah.
has T-shirts. She put out T-shirts in September. Can't her campaign T-shirts that say impeach the MFer.
Wow. What a glorious piece she is.
And
I mean,
we let this insolence go against the president, and it has set a bad precedent,
yeah,
that you can
because
just
they're
be
allowed to
like,
keep going further and further and further.
yeah, you don't, you can be a rude football player and say, whatever, Mr. President, screw you, I'm not coming. I you can be rude and insolent to the president of the United States of America. And I find that, when that person, whoever they are, invites you to the White House because you've done something commendable, I just don't see what the problem of going, thank you,
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
showing up,
Here,
or saying, thank you, I can't attend, and leave it there.
right. Well, here's
Just,
the thing that gripes me to, I mean, this is the utmost degree of absolute piss off, and that's the somebody that's sitting in a full dress uniform, United States Army specifically, Vladimir Vindman,
oh, yeah,
that guy,
comrade.
Comrade Vindman,
Yeah,
is sitting in a uniform and bashing the commander in chief. That is so disgusting. When when you are in the military, he is your commander in chief. He is the top of the chain of command. And I did not like Obama, but when I was in uniform, I had Clinton. I hated Clinton, but when you're in uniform, if you happen to walk by him, it's how are you, sir? You
yeah,
know, it doesn't matter what your personal opinion is. You need to keep your mouth shut when you are dealing with chain of command. And where did that all go?
yeah. It went down the toilet because of Obama, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, he kept all the yes men and
Mhm.
let all the soy boys start joining, and he's created a really different military. I mean,
Did you
the
see the guy
discipline.
speaking at the Pearl Harbor incident? The I think he's a
I
vice
did not.
admiral. A very sad situation. A active duty sailor went on board Pearl Harbor, uh, shot three and killed two, all civilians that worked there at the shipyard. And the when the admiral came out, he was so, he didn't give you that comfort of, I have it under control. A lot of times when you see the military brass, whatever branch it is, come out, there's that bravado, you know, male or
Right.
female, but there's that confidence. I got this. This
Absolutely.
is my job. This is an incident. We're going to take it, close it up, and, and move forward. This guy, not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Well, I still think General Miley is Q, but I think he's also one of the most confident leaders that we've got, and he's old school. Somehow he managed to survive the slashing of leadership that Obama did, and I just I believe he was the one that was going to coordinate the military takeover of our government if Hillary Clinton was elected, and it was going to happen because the 16-year plan is no secret, and they knew that if Hillary got in there, the this country wouldn't exist after 4 years, and there wouldn't even be discussion of the United States of America after her second term.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
it was going
Yeah.
to be taken over.
Evil Trump is trying to prevent us from socialism. Evil
Right.
Trump is trying to make sure that, but he has nobody to move forward any of their campaign promises or his, because for 4 years now we've had our panties in a wad over him being elected. So
My
we
panties are
have
usually on pretty straight, though.
so we have searched and prodded and poked, dead, ambiguous kind of findings to come up with something. And
Yeah, well,
because the
he's also trying to
Democrats,
keep us out of war.
yeah, well, yeah, uh, and because the Democrats had that condescending, we taken everybody to the Democrats except Republicans, white Christian males, white Christian women. We're all accepting except for those things.
Yeah. And
You
they,
know, they
they truly do base their argument on color
they do.
because I am I'm one that is not white. You see, redskin. Can't help it. I'm a redskin. I've got 50% Native American blood running through me at least, and I ain't white. I'm sorry. I got white in me, but you know they look at me and they say, "Oh, there's another white dude." Okay,
Yeah.
so the rules are stupid, and they're the only
They,
ones that use race to get their initiative and get their programs in place.
yeah, look at creepy Joe Biden. Look at some of these things. Oh my God.
Oh my
Something else.
God! Here you brought
Something
it up.
else.
Oh, I
Okay.
like when the kids are in my lap. I'd have knocked him off of that stage. Oh my God! I can't stand these pedophiles. But where were you going, please?
I was going with Al Sharpton. Al
Oh,
Sharp
okay. Well, that's
Matt
another
Gates
idiot.
was going after Al Sharpton. And Al Sharpton is a racist. He's a bigot. He's an ugly, ugly uh, income tax dodging, you know, asshole.
Right.
And Matt Gates was just going after him and going after him. And he said, "Why? We're talking about words I said in 1991. Why are
Yeah.
we even worried about that? I'm different now." And I just thought, look at all these people that had been brought forward to be, held in contempt, all kinds of charges brought against them because in 1965 they put on blackface, and
That's right.
1971 they did a racial skit, and 54 they they did something. And oh, we're gonna hold those people's foot to the fire. But Al Sharpton, why you? I was 91. I'm a changed man. Everybody
Yeah.
agree.
Fred
Oh,
Knotts.
okay.
Fred
Huh?
Knott says he calls himself Peach. That one because he's only part white and part redskin, so he's a peach. So that's cool. So that's what we are then. We are peaches. But yeah, I heard that President Trump in the third grade said something about somebody with nanny doo doo. So they wanted to bring that up and impeach him on that too.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean,
yeah,
it's just that kind of hypocrisy. The Democrat,
yeah,
and Matt Gates, God bless him. I mean, he's like, Mr. Chairman, stop him. I need my time back. Nope, nope, nope. And Al
yeah,
Sharpton just kept talking over him. And, why, why? I'm a changed man. Well, we can all start
yeah.
using these democratic defenses. I get pulled over for a ticket. I'm a changed woman. I'm not going to speed anymore. You can just keep that in your
Right.
pocket.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Don't have me suicide you now.
Yeah, well, they shot themselves 10 times in the back of the head.
Yeah,
So there's also another one that's linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Just got found hanging in a tree, and
in a tree.
that yeah, and he was the banker at Deutsche Bank that handled the Jeffrey Epstein accounts. Some of them apparently just found him hanging in a tree. So apparently he climbed the tree and climbed out onto the branch and got himself set and then dropped. So another another one that was arc incited.
Yeah.
Their body
Yeah.
count's up over 140 now.
Oh, I believe it.
140 people directly connected to Hillary or Bill Clinton are gone, and
Well,
they're suicides.
and it's funny because we have a relative that was visiting the grave of his mother, and he got suicided with two in the back of the head. And the
Yeah,
local coroner ruled it a suicide. And so they hired people to prove that it's impossible to do with the type of weapon that was found. It's impossible to do one besides two. And
yeah. Well, especially when they use a 30-06 rifle, bolt action. You got to really hold your hand way back
yeah,
there to get a hold
bolt
of that
action.
trigger. So
Yeah.
yeah, especially when the round came from 250 yards away. So I mean, you've got to have some skills to do that stuff.
Yeah, and I haven't been able to quite put my finger on, because this is in very small town USA where this has happened, but I can't figure out why the coroner lets that happen, unless it's
There's the
just
money.
the evil, evil people that threaten
It's
everybody, keep your mouth shut.
That's
This is
what it
what I want you
is.
to say.
It's
And
here's some money. If you open your mouth, then we're gonna kill your children. If you open your mouth again, we're gonna kill your wife. And if you do anything else, then we're gonna torture you until you die. So it's amazing how threats can control a population.
yeah,
And that's what it is. The left is a population, and they're all manipulated and controlled and threatened into obedience. The problem is they've still got the patriots out here that are, a lot of us can defend ourselves in many different ways,
hmm,
and they don't have control of us. So we are a loose cannon to them. That's why they want population control. That's why they want to intimidate us. They want to take our guns away. They think they're going to just come to the door, knock, knock. I need your guns. Okay, here they come. You
hmm.
know, it's just not going to be as simple as they think. They underestimate the Patriots.
Yeah, they do all the time. And I just saw somebody, I think it's what I saw, said that coroners are appoint. I don't know who said it. It either said they're appointed or elected. I think ours here in Jacksonville is appointed. I don't.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, in all
coroners
the
are appointed.
years,
I don't think there's an election for a coroner.
yeah, in all the years I've lived here, I've never voted for a coroner. I think they're appointed. I think that's what the person said. Uh, but so yeah, with that in mind, also, they're appointed by the people running uh, that area,
Well,
and
one thing,
he did own a factory, and he
yeah,
employed a lot of people for the
right. So I
area.
mean, they get they get people that they can take apart. But I said earlier, I don't understand why the Republicans don't do something, and I have a partial answer to that as I've been sitting here thinking about it. And at the beginning of this shindig, the liberals owned everything. They owned the courts, they owned the media, they owned the digital hemisphere, and they owned every leadership position and DOJ member in the House and the Senate. And at that point, if a Republican stood up and said anything, they would be completely and totally destroyed. Their reputation would be destroyed. They'd be censored. They'd be reprimanded. They'd be potentially impeached. They'd be asked to step down, and they have no recourse because the liberals own everything. And I think that some of the Republicans are getting a little bit louder now because they've lost control of so many of the district courts. They're losing control in the DOJ and FBI, and they're frankly they're losing control of their superstructure that allowed them to destroy people at the drop of a hat. They're still doing it some, but it's harder for them, and I think that's why some of the Republicans are finally starting to speak up a little bit.
Well, they're not speaking up enough, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely
I
not.
mean, if
I didn't mean that.
yeah, if we can sit here and everybody in the chat can sit here, we I know I say it all the time. Saying it is not backing it up with action because I don't know what action to try and start. But there has to be a way because if YouTube is going to do what we all think they're going to do, I don't know where we're going to be on the 10th. What's the backup? Where are we all going to go on the 10th?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Okay. But
That's
really,
I mean that's
how
just a suggestion. Well, there are other platforms. The problem is YouTube is another dominating force. It's the senior partner in the destruction of patriotism, but because YouTube is so well known, that's where everybody goes. There are other platforms like I'm on BitChute. I'm on DLab or DLive, I guess DLive, but I haven't really done anything with it yet. Uh, it's a little confusing for somebody who's not really a computer person, but the point is that on average, only 8% of the people that follow on YouTube will follow you to either a backup channel or an alternative media site. And that's a
well, I think
statistic that I can back up.
oh no, I know that. I'm just saying that say okay, the 10th has come and now
Yeah.
DVP is gone. Where where can people go get you? Where can people go find you? Where can we make the new what can we where can we go? Where would you want people to go? BitChute? Same name?
BitChute right now, yeah, it's under the same name in BitChute, but the problem with BitChute is they don't have the capability to go live. It's not a disaster. It just means that there would be no more live interaction discussion with the chat and stuff like that. It would just
Well, it's
be that
better to
we
have
would do
some
our
discussion
videos.
than none at all.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
they would
right.
just have to do the comments or whatever, but we could still do our videos, but we would have to do them on Skype through the computer and then upload them into BitChute. So I mean, we're not going to be gone completely. Just the structure changes. How we get it done changes.
I wish I had the money.
From
I would so make a platform. I would so if I just had that bag of, mystery money, I would just
the
let's
bag
do
of
that.
billions.
Yeah, whatever it took. If I had it, I would definitely make that platform because
Yeah,
if the powers that be that run the YouTube don't want to hear opposing points of view and they're that narrow-minded and they're that scared, fine. Come someplace else, y'all. Come on. Because the liberals are
yeah.
going to follow right behind you.
Well, they got to be there to be the trolls.
Yeah. they're,
the The problem is that everybody assumes that the liberals have the power of God because they're in charge of all the things that affect people's lives. But the reality is their numbers are small. They're I can give you the easiest and quickest example. If you look at somebody's video on YouTube and say it's got 7,500 likes, well, there are people that are literally paid to scour YouTube and go to all of the conservative sites and platforms and down thumb their videos. These people are paid to do it. That's what they do all day long. So you'll have 7,500 likes and then you might have 52 dislikes. So these are people that are, a majority of them are paid to do this. So if they
yeah.
don't even have an army big enough to go through and downvote your videos, then why would people assume that they have a big enough army to stand us down when we reach our point of no return?
Yeah.
This
Well,
is That's a thought.
it's an excellent thought. I don't have one for it. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you know this, but do you realize that you have two pair of glasses on. I mean, it may be a nothing issue, but I'm just wondering. I, I mean, just how much of this do you really need to see?
No, I didn't realize I had.
I didn't want to bring it up. I figured you knew what you were doing, but I just, after a while, it's like the person coming out of the bathroom with the toilet paper dragging on their feet. At some
Oh,
point, you
thanks.
tell them, just let it kind of go. But, so I just wanted to make sure you understood that.
Nope, had no
But
idea. But I want to send Trump and Gates and these players something that they will actually see that'll get past all the gatekeepers that says, "Hey, we need a platform. You guys, you have
well,
big
the only thing
donors,
I
you
can
have
think
super
of,
PACs, yep, huh?
the only thing I can think of that would actually get to at least a person within the White House would be snail mail, because that's literally the only thing that can't be hacked. And I mean, obviously they can look at it and go, okay, 13 that one, but it's you stand the best chance of getting something at least close to the president by doing it through snail mail.
Yeah, but I mean, we could start a letter writing campaign. We need a conservative platform. YouTube is one-sided, bigoted. They limit free speech. They're a publisher. They're not a platform. So, what can you guys do? What can your super PAC do? Point me in the right direction. I'll do it. I just have no
Right.
money. I have all the 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 ability to do it. I just have no money to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's where a lot of us are. Um, at this point, the frustration is there, the desire for change is there, but the direction isn't there. Everybody's running in different directions, and nobody knows exactly what to do. Um, I mean, at some point, if, for example, God forbid, they do something to hurt the president, that's that's going to trigger revolution. And at that point, there won't be any more questions as to what do we do. It's
Hmm.
going to be move in force in mass and remove our corrupt government, and that means the appointed ones as well. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Um,
they're moving against Pence also.
right, because they want to get Nancy Pelosi in there,
Yeah, yeah.
and
And
she's
the
a
one smart
psycho.
she's plastic. I don't even think she's real. But one of the things that Pence has always been smart about is he's never met with a woman without his wife. So
Right,
they
and
won't
they
be able to
they
get him.
actually they try to be critical of him about that. It's like, really? Yeah,
Really
yeah. You guys just want to
genius.
set that up. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, you can't do that one. And I I really, there's great minds out here in YouTube, great minds. There has to be a way. You know what? What if I start one of those petitions to
yeah.
send to the president?
Here's the problem with those petitions.
Okay.
Deb over there on Truthification Chronicles has done a couple of petitions. One of them specifically to have the members on the Judiciary Committee that are overseeing the impeachment, but also running for president, require them to step down and uh, not be involved with that portion of the hearing. But again, you're dealing with mass media, you're dealing with the internet that's controlled by liberal psychopaths, and they literally suppressed her petition to the point where I think it got 500 signatures because it wouldn't go out. She couldn't post it. She couldn't do anything with it. All she could do
Well,
was advertise it on her page.
well, maybe, one of those I hate to say change.org because that's Soros, but there
Yeah,
has to be a way to start a petition on YouTube to collect, signatures or whatever they need for it to be legitimized.
I
Anybody
just
know
don't
what
think
that
you're going
way
to get
is?
it done on YouTube. Um, I think that the reality is that us older folks is going to have to pull out the paper and the pencil. I think we're back there again. I think we're going to have to do everything by door to door signature and by CrowdStrike, basically going into the public and getting signatures in the public, and then damn near walking it to DC. Because if we try to use any other alternative media or any other form, then it's we're not going to get the job done. There are too many roadblocks, too many ways they can stop it from happening.
Well, what would be I mean, right now we're just talking about a platform where you feel safe because YouTube doesn't they're taking away your money. They're demonetizing everybody. They limit the ads that will run. It's
Yep.
not a safe platform for everyone. It's
Yeah, we need
only
a safe
safe.
space.
Yeah, this is not my safe space. This is not your safe space. This is only a
Right.
liberal and socialist
Yeah, well,
safe
what they've
space.
done is they demonetize the ones that they're targeting, and then they can say they're not commercially viable. So bye bye, you know. And in my case, I was getting awfully close to being viable, as they would call it, commercially viable. So what they did was they dropped 1,000 view hours from me, and in the last since Sunday, since our show, we've had 300 viewing hours, and they've officially given me 90. So they
90
they
view
only give a
hours.
yeah out of 300. 300 verifiable, confirmable. I can look at it. I can show you where we get it, and they gave me 90. So also they stopped my growth on subscribers at 1,550, and I was there for 2 weeks, not one single movement in any direction. And now this week they dropped 10 off of that, so I'm at 1,540. So they are slowly removing my channel. It's already not being recommended, and they're doing all their little games to it. So they're already, excuse me, they're already,
I
excuse me
got to
twice.
unplug you for a second.
I feel like I'm in a 32 Woody.
Smitty, is that everything all right?
She'll be back in one moment. Hold on, I'm going to drop you out for just a second while you do that. Okay, let her do. She's got something going on there, so I'm going to let her do that. But now what I'm saying here is that YouTube is slowly ticking away at the people that they're going to dismiss. And I don't know if there's a way to fight that. Okay. Oh, let her put her ears in. And she's
Sorry.
back. Okay. No,
Sorry.
that's fine. No, I just dropped it
Smitty's
out while
mom's
you
in
were
the
handling that.
hospital.
So, oh, yeah. Well, we want to make sure you can keep up to date on that. But anyway, I was just finishing up talking about how YouTube is ticking away at the people that are targeted.
Right.
So I thought
And I
about
can't.
doing maybe dog brushing videos, and that way I can be brushing my dog and discussing politics, but it would be dog brushing videos. That way they can't say that I'm going against their terms of service, because all I'm doing is brushing a dog and talking to my dog while I'm doing it. So I
Right,
thought
right.
about doing that. Yeah.
Yes, history B, that was my ringtone.
Yeah.
I got to get something
The
that'll catch my attention.
the auga.
Yeah.
Oh, Ringo Hayes has his cats, or her cats, or somebody's cats. But anyway, yeah. So you can brush cats, or you can
Brush cats.
put
Yeah,
on
you
your.
brush. Well, your cat you might be able to brush.
Yeah, I brush my cat. But yeah, the thing is, it would be even more fun to put your bathing suit on, set your camera up on a tripod, and throw your cats in a shower while you're trying to do your video. Um, those actually get a lot of views because you got
Yeah,
popcorn cats jumping up trying to get out of the shower, and
yeah, or
it's good
those.
entertainment. Those
I
what?
enjoy those man videos where men do the most ridiculous things, like, try to skateboard backwards over a car or something.
Yeah, well, I've already done all that stuff before there was video, so I'm beyond the age now where I can continue that kind of stuff. But I mean,
I mean,
it it is kind of stupid if you think about how we are discussing how to get away with doing a video and you know coming up with the most absurd ways in order to get our points across, and it shouldn't have to be that way.
it shouldn't. And thank you for the prayers, everyone, for Smitty's mom. I'll make sure to tell him.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, Thought I was at the dentist, Melinda. Yeah, well,
What?
it did sound a little bit like a drill. Um, Patty thought that she was at the dentist when that auga came up. It
Oh,
sounded like a dentist drill coming through the mic.
sorry.
But anyhow, so I guess you heard though that uh, Nancy Pelosi has decided that they're going to move forward with the articles of impeachment for something.
Yeah.
She made that announcement today. It's just fascinating.
Hmm.
Oh, stop it! Always trying to get that extra attention.
Huh?
Huh? I'm sorry.
What'd you
What?
say?
I said stop it. You're always trying to get that extra attention. What I meant to say was, oh, God bless you.
Ah, that's better. Okay, that's what
Oh,
I was
okay. Yeah.
expecting to hear.
Uh, I'm reading one here. Nilda Richmond, Trump played Alex Jones, Al Gore, or what is it? Al,
I can't read them all unless they're just short.
Trump played Alex Jones. AJ gave Trump so much airtime. You can see it on AJ's face after the election. I'm not sure. I mean, Alex Jones definitely gave him a lot of airtime, but I'm not sure what you mean. Nervous Nancy wants to move forward on impeachment, not in hate, but in love. Oh yes.
Oh,
Oh, that's the
whatever.
other thing. Somebody says, "Do you hate Trump?" Well, as a Catholic, I don't hate Trump. I resent that question or whatever she said. That bitch is a Satanist. Um, I mean,
It,
these people are evil to the damn core, and it's disgusting when they declare themselves a Christian, a Catholic, a whatever, and then in the next sentence they say, "Oh yeah, go kill your babies."
yeah,
So
yeah. So don't. Yeah, the proof has to be in the pudding, and none of those
yeah,
Democrats have any pudding. So, and they keep trying to play her off as the level-headed one and trying to keep the party together, because truly what she's afraid of are these swing states that when they go to impeach Trump, they barely want him to begin with, but now they'll go and impeach him and they'll lose that state. And then the
yeah. Well, she
Republicans will
can't be
be
that level-headed because she can't
right.
even keep her dentures level.
But that's, yeah, they're trying to play her off as that one, and she just isn't.
Yeah, I mean, just the insanity is. Oh, Alex looked pissed drunk at the night after the election. So Nilda, you're saying that Alex Jones didn't want President Trump because now, I mean, I've heard a couple of them kind of like basically saying, all of a sudden that they don't like him, that they were all for him or whatever, or act the other way around that they hated him and now they're for him. So I don't know if that's the case, but you think she added a link to her chain today? A couple like like Scrooge's chain 100 times worse. Well, yeah. Um, I can't wait for the ghost of Christmas future to come drag her ass away. But um, Anyway, so what else has happened? We got about 6 minutes, so you have the floor or the
Well,
chair, whichever you want.
I have the chair. I think
Okay.
Pelosi is afraid, though, that with this impeachment, the states that they, barely won, these swing states that they won by a thread, they're going to end up losing. And that's just all right by me.
Do you
That's
think
just,
that they're going to hold a vote?
I think they have to. I think it's,
I don't think they
no.
will.
Do I personally think they have to? Absolutely not. Do I think they have to? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, they got to do what's best for the country. They got to do what's best for all these conservatives that are afraid to get together with other hateful people, with their hateful kind.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I
have to
just,
do
I
what's,
don't know. I don't think they're going to go for the vote.
you know.
Um, no. I have that feeling they're going to go ahead and write up the articles of impeachment and they're going to do all the motions, but I don't think they're going to finalize it. If they do, they're going to try to drag it out for another 4 or 5 months because what this is an attempt to sway the election. It's election interfering, and
It's it's
they're not doing it right now with the people that are running for the Democrat Party. So this is their campaign. This rules of impeachment and engagement impeachment, all this stuff is their election campaign. And I don't think they're going to go to a vote because they can't let it go to the Senate. That'll expose all their crimes.
true, true, true. And it could just be that they're trying to, what do you call them? The red flags,
Yeah,
the is that what you call red
the
flags,
false
false
flags. You
flags,
mean?
false flag?
Yeah,
Yeah, this could be something just to keep the American public so tuned into this one small little, you know, optic that they're putting on and missing
yeah,
something going on someplace else. I mean, he left
yeah.
the UN
Linda,
thing, he
right?
got in a tit for tat
Yeah,
with the French guy, then somebody was hurt on an open mic, you know,
yeah, yeah. Well, the media has it. Oh, he was in. He left because they were being mean to him. That's
whatever.
their stupid emotional crap. He
That's that
probably
last guy.
left because there was a threat. So Linda Horner says, DVP, did you see Dave's video today? You recommended him. It was fierce. I did see his video today, and yes, uh, I think his statement today about the standing of the Patriots is very true. I think that the camel that's going to break this straw's back is getting pretty big at this point. So yeah, I did see that. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think there will be a vote. I think it'll be dragged on for months, and they'll just
At my
keep it in the
expense.
headlines as long as they can. Yeah,
Yeah, can we do that? Say, I'm tired of you spending my tax dollars on this. Sum it up. Get cut to the chase.
I would love to know how we can do that because the criminality of the IRS is well known and established. They are a Gestapo force. If you decide not to pay your taxes, then they can come and take everything from you, and
Hmm.
uh, that's how they protect themselves from losing your money.
Yeah, they're spending my money. Granted, I will never pay enough tax to gas a jet, but you know, I don't want them spending it on this. Sum it up. This has dragged on for years and years now. All this hocus pocus BS.
Yeah.
I want them to be done.
Well, I was hoping that today the FISA report would be dropped, and it was not. So I'm ready for all the hate mail and all the negative comments because I was wrong. But I made it clear it was a hunch. It was not a promise, but it was a little disappointing that it did not drop today because an out of the blue, just a industrial elbow drop of something like that would blow the Democrats right out of their own asses. They would they would lose their minds, and that is one thing that I would love to see happen. I just love a piece of documentation to be dropped that's so fiery and with them doing all their lives and all their dancing around everything, something like that, just to blow them out of the water would have been beautiful. And it's
Yeah,
disappointing that it didn't come out.
but it is funny that YouTube changed its rules for the 9th and the support's going to drop when?
The ninth is the report, the 10th is the YouTube rules. But here's another little tidbit that some people don't know. I know we're right at our hour, so I'm going to finish up. But the YouTube had you sign a contract, an agreement with them when you first open up your channel, and now they've changed their rules of the way they do things 3 times, but they've never once come back to us with a new contract that requires that we re-sign. So that wouldn't work in any other industry in the world. If you sign a contract and then they change it 3 times after you've signed it, then that's grounds for a massive lawsuit. But YouTube gets away with it just like the liberals get away with their psycho stuff in the house, in the Senate, or in the House rather.
Hmm.
But anyway, you got anything else you want to finish up with
No, I
that
just, the
really
next
got you
couple
made
days are going
today?
to be interesting.
Oh yes, interesting as in boring as hell, or interesting as in oh my god.
Like, oh my God, can they be so stupid?
Every time I ask that question, they take it as a challenge and they impress the hell out of me because yes, they can be that stupid and then
No,
some.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, watch
Watch
this.
this.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, that's our hour and 1 minute. And I want to take a minute to thank all my mods. You guys rocked the joint. Thank you to everybody that's come to hang out with Belinda and me for this hour. You could be doing anything in the world and you choose to hang out with us. It's humbling and I appreciate it.
Thank
Miss
you.
Belinda, I always enjoy you. You're such a good time. I mean, should I phrase that differently?
Yes,
Okay. Good thing my
I'm
wife knows I'm
telling.
an idiot and she's sitting next to me so I can get away with just about anything. But anyway, so with that being said, thank you everybody, and y'all stay in the fight.
Good night.